Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. It's crazy, isn't it? Rant. Isn't it crazy? You could sit up with her all night, have long in-depth conversations about how you loathe cheaters and hell, even bond over it, but she'll still cheat. You could reiterate time and again how that betrayal is a deal breaker for you, and that she should let you know if she thinks it's over. Instead of cheating on you, she'll swear up and down that it would never happen, but she'll still cheat on you. She could be the most emotionally intelligent person you've met, demonstrating empathy and kindness that knows no bounds, but she'll still cheat. It could be a few weeks from now, or even worse, 28 years from now, she'll still do it. You'll be convinced that she's possessed by some demon for throwing away decades of a loving relationship for cheap thrills, that it could never be the person you've built a life with, and see her carry out this devious betrayal through to divorce with you still in disbelief. It's crazy that it's an almost inevitable eventuality. It seems that maybe humanity isn't as monogamous as we'd thought, except for us, the few Neanderthals who know how crushing that betrayal is, and would never make the choice to put someone through that. It's crazy that there's always a perceivably greener pasture, or some guy who will one day tell her everything she wants to hear, and she'll listen, just because of a chase of excitement or an escape from a rough patch. It seems as though, if you want romantic love, you have to accept that brutal eventuality as the norm, or at least be willing to bend your principles and rug sweep it. The norm of indefinitely shattered trust. I could never imagine myself living like that. Looking at the person you love, and not feeling lucky at all, just exhausted from the mental gymnastics you have to make each second to not be in utter disgust at their sight. I could never subject myself to that life. It just isn't in me. The worst part is that they never want to let you go. She'll swear up and down that you're the only one she wants, cry and beg, but the reality is that she's demonstrated your deficiency to her by allowing herself to do this to you. You're not enough for her. And she'll still have the gall to ask you to forgive this, to look the purity and innocence of your love flushing away before your own eyes, to look at the light-hearted moments between two people in love just being ripped away from you, and she'll ask you to make it work, make that torture chamber work? The audacity. No person in love with the other could give themselves permission to do this. It's impossible. You may be attached to your partner, but you're definitely not in love with them. You just feel the guilt and moral inferiority that makes you see all the good features about your partner, and from that you convince yourself that you're in love with them. But you're not. If you were, you could never do that to them, you could never even compartmentalize such a betrayal. The worst part is that even though I rationally know that it's not my fault to be cheated on, that it's fully theirs, my self-worth and love will still go down the drain, even if I knew I was everything I could be, because we're more of emotional apes than logical. It's crazy, isn't it? This is the same train of thought I run through at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep, trying to make sense of all of this mess. My conclusion after many months/years of these types of musings. Love sucks. Pain is inevitable, you can't protect yourself from it. I will never understand people. All humans are selfish to varying degrees, so I just need to act accordingly. Wishing you healing smile. Everything you've said is true. It's just hard to deal with and accept the uncertainty, because I've just recently built and still am building a foundational self-esteem, so I can't imagine putting that at risk with my eyes open, just to have to rebuild again. But thank you. I hope you're well on your journey of healing as well. Smile. Yeah, I hate uncertainty too, I'm just learning to embrace it though, as it's inevitable. I think the key is to never attach your self-esteem to another person, or relationship, again. That way it is never at risk. It's always a work in progress, but I'm sure you'll get there. That's really solid advice, thank you for that. I hope with time it gets easier to embrace. As a science guy it's absolutely dreadful, but a part of us still, ha ha. All the best with your journey. Agreed, with one difference: it was men who did this to me. Every relationship. I'm sorry you went through that, it's gut-wrenchingly painful. How about a dose of reality? She's blowing smoke up your ass. Start there and give up your Pollyanna views of her, and you can begin to recover your own life before she utterly destroys you. Get her completely out of your life. I am so sorry you are going through this. I can tell you that as a human being I genuinely sympathize with you. I just found out 2 weeks ago that my husband has done the same thing. I am in a fog, and the only thing I can see right now is the pain. I know one day it won't define me, but at the moment I am in so much pain. He said all the things to me your significant other said to you about never cheating, that if things were ever that bad he would come to me with honesty and never go down that road of betrayal. But for whatever reason, it didn't happen that way, and my husband carried on an affair for a year whilst telling me he loved me and couldn't imagine a life without me. Here's a link to something I posted the other day to try and feel better. Look, I don't know your circumstances, but I can relate to your pain, and all I can offer is, you're not alone. I know that doesn't heal you, and from what people are telling me, this pain won't always be there. I am trying to work through this with my husband, who is now telling me he doesn't know what he wants. But I am trying, giving it my all. That may not be appropriate in your scenario, but know that we are all human, and whatever way you choose to move forward has to be what feels right for you. I for one wish you nothing but strength to handle this in a way that is true to your better self in the future. Story 2. My 33 meters wife, 32F, said her ex's name while we were having sex. TLDR: wife says an ex's name while we're having sex. Now I question what's going on. Should I be looking into if she's cheating? My wife and I have been married for 4 years and we have a 2-year-old. We dated on and off for 3 years before getting married. Last night, she says her ex's name while we are having sex. She gave some weird excuse as to why. She said it's a common name. It is a very common name, and must have heard it recently. I wasn't going to start a big argument with her at that time. It has since gotten me worried about why she did that. For some background, this was a guy she was with for a couple years before I met her. They met in college and were serious for some time. They had broken up when I met her and decided they were better as friends. They were friends for years before they dated. We started dating, but he remained in the picture. He was her best friend first and foremost, and I grudgingly went along with it for her. Several months pass and I put my foot down, saying it's too uncomfortable for me. There was some resistance, but she steps back from him. Every time we broke up, she was with him. We finally reconciled and got engaged. He apparently didn't know this and stops talking to her. She was devastated, which should have been a red flag. We talked about it and she was happy to have chosen me. Now after this has happened, I'm tempted to see if she's gotten back in contact with him again. I know she's checked in on his social media because I saw the searches on the laptop. She doesn't know I know that. I don't think she'd cheat, but this guy was always different for her. Do I just confront her? Do I start going through her phone? Or am I being paranoid? Update: my 33 meters wife, 32F, said her ex's name while we were having sex/r/all. Here's the original post. Thank you everyone for your help and advice. I did my investigating before talking to her. I went through his social media first, but nothing explicitly saying anything was going on. There were a few mentions of his love in some comments, but that could mean anything. I did look at the phone bill and there looks to be calls with him pretty regularly. Onto hers, I was able to get on her phone when she was asleep. She must have forgot I knew the code, nothing in texts and no weird calls. So she deleted them. I did find some apps she tried to keep hidden, like Snapchat and Kik. Sure enough, there's their conversations. And pictures. I took pictures of all of it on my phone to have as proof. She exploded when we had the conversation and left with our child to her mother's. I contacted a lawyer and am in the process of a divorce and figuring out custody. I'm heartbroken and am more angry than anything else. I'm angry at her, but I'm also angry at myself for dismissing so many red flags. ETA, the conversations I found were confirming they were having an affair. The pictures were ones they were exchanging, including nudes. I, 33 meters, started process of divorce from my wife, 32F, who was cheating on me with her best friend, M, and I feel broken. Getting started. I was married to my wife for about 4 years and we have a 2-year-old. My wife was cheating on me for quite a while with her best friend. I found out after some digging and she cussed me out and went to her mother's with our child. Note, the child is mine. I have since been in contact with an attorney. I have my child back now because she isn't living with her mother. I found she's moved into this guy's house. I am so angry about this. She at least had the sense that I wouldn't accept my child to be there. Mentally and emotionally I am barely holding it together. I have a brave face for my child, but it's not easy. I was able to secure with my work to work from home for the rest of the year. There's the issue of her getting her stuff from here still. My attorney plans to get it sorted with her attorney. We can find a time with the police here to let her get the rest of her things without him here. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I see her or deal with the situation. I keep getting updates about my ex from everyone. Rant. I was married to my wife for about 4 years and we have a 2-year-old. My wife was cheating on me for quite a while with her best friend. I found out after some digging. Note, the child is mine. We had our blowout almost 2 months ago and shortly after that she moved in with this guy. I've stood my ground and am not letting our child go there. I thought there'd be more of a huge fight, but I've had our child primarily and I'm so grateful for it. Nothing is finalized in any way yet, but I am just doing my best day to day. I cry every day in the shower, but having my child helps more than I could ever express. I've been no contact with my wife for many reasons since this all started. People love to update me on her. People that knew us, people that were even just my friends. They see something on social media and think I need to know everything. I've tried to say that I don't need to know. It's been creating more chaos for me emotionally. It makes me angry more than anything. One of those good people screenshot some posts/comments on social media which I can't seem to find myself. Maybe it's been deleted. Anyway, she's pregnant. I hope to God it isn't true, but I got this stupid screenshot of a post he put up with a pregnancy test. What the actual hell? This heartless woman seems to keep stabbing my heart and tearing it into more pieces without any care. I cannot believe I married her. I cannot believe she would be this careless. And why do people keep sending me all these updates? I just want to divorce her and take care of my child. I'm rambling and so pissed I nearly punched a hole in my wall. I needed to vent and say somewhere what an absolute horrible human being she is. She's already moved on, even from our child. Need support. Some time has passed, but I'm just as hurt and angry as day one. The day I found that my wife was cheating on me with her best friend who is a guy. My priority remains to be my 2-year-old child. I initially said he could not be anywhere near my child. I have since had to relent because of my lawyer's direction. When I kicked her out of our home, she went to him. She has since moved in with him. I still have to figure out co-parenting with her. For the record, I have my child most of the time. My STBX has been okay with that. It bothers me, but I'm also relieved. Shouldn't she want to be with her child? I don't know if she's too busy with that new life or what, but I'm not going to rock that boat. I've cut out anyone trying to give me play-by-plays of her life. I blocked all her social media and been no contact. I'm still just as hurt. I feel like our relationship was a complete lie. She's already moved on. Does anyone have tips in navigating co-parenting? Is this when I celebrate? Post-separation. Since my ex is in a hurry to have her life with her AP, we are now divorced. I've also gotten primary custody of our child. She didn't fight it at all. She didn't even seem to care. There is a schedule for her to have our child, but I won't hold my breath. I'm happy to be past this stage, but I'm so sad for my child, who is 2. I can only hope I can do enough that they don't recognize their mother ignoring them. I plan to keep her social media blocked. I will admit I peeked recently and it was all her and her AP. It's disgusting. I do hope that falls apart for her. I'm still angry about that part. I need to keep telling myself she isn't my problem anymore. My focus for now is my child and myself. My selfish narcissistic ex-wife strikes again. Post-separation. I feel like things have settled more. My child and I have gotten a good routine going. I only text my ex-wife in regards to our child. She allowed me to have primary custody, and even though I reach out to remind her, she's not seen our child. Therapy has been a godsend in helping me navigate it. Imagine my surprise when I receive a text from her over the weekend saying she will be stopping by. I thought, wow, she might actually use this weekend. Now I hate she lives with her AP, but I'm not going to impede my child's time with their mother. She comes and I'm expecting her to pick our child up. No, she's literally stopping by. The reason? She wanted to tell our child in person that she's having a baby and they will have a little brother or sister. I can't help but think she's thinking she's hurting me with this news. Anyways, she says she's busy and has to go. That's it. I was furious but kept it together and let her leave without saying a thing. We went about our day and I doubt I will hear from her much. It only hurts me because of how unfair this is to my child. I'm still waiting for that relationship to implode, which I hope is soon. Slowly finding peace update. Feel free to read my profile for background. Basically, my now ex-wife left me and our child for her AP, with which she is expecting. Since that last disaster of a visit from her, she has had zero contact with our child. I am not standing in the way, but she has no interest. It breaks my heart, but my child doesn't need a narcissist in their life. I have resolved to get out and enjoy nature more. I have some camping trips planned with my kid. I got all I needed to take them hiking with me too. We have done some already and it's been enjoyable. I'm still in the gym and therapy has been a huge help. Thankfully I can work from home. I don't try to keep up with her much, but I will hear things. She still lives with him and they are engaged now. Rumor has it that he has been seen at the local bars more often, complaining about the stress she's causing. One of my friends bartends and has heard him himself. I am at a point where I don't care, but it feels good. The AP of my narcissistic ex-wife contacted me. Update. I've been away from Reddit mainly to focus on my life with my child. There's no real update on her interest in our child. I have not prevented anything, but she's yet to come around. Last I updated, she was expecting with her AP. I received a DM from this AP. She had their baby. This wasn't the reason for the DM though. He found she's cheating on him. Shocking, I know. This guy has the audacity to turn to me for advice. I haven't responded. I do recognize that his child and mine are half-siblings. I do not want to block anything in that respect. However, I am not interested in helping him out either. Things have been settled in my life. My child is happy and I've been feeling better than I have in a long time. I do not want to get sucked back into her nonsense. Anyways, I wanted to update I'm well and finding some peace. Those why play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That guy is going to now feel what he put you through. Hopefully he learns something from it. I do hope he learns something. Sadly, I doubt he will. In my experience, people who participate in heinous acts such as cheating only to be cheated on themselves will always find someone else to blame. From the bottom of my heart, I wish the very best for you and your kid. I hope you are able to maintain a level of little to no contact with your ex and her nonsense. Keep fighting the good fight and continue being awesome. He did learn something. He learned if she will cheat in her husband she'll cheat in him too. Karma just smacked the fuck out of him. Hope you stay string, and if you decide to have the kids meet each other one day it's up to you and Cinder Boy cause he just got burned. I don't think would respond to it except to say feels great doesn't it, then laugh at him. Haha Karma, he deserved it. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.